Many Americans are fond of actor Jeffrey Owens for his iconic role as a doctor who married into the Cosby family. But he just got some unwanted attention this week from a photo circulating of him working at Trader Joe's. Fox News ran a headline that he was, quote, spotted bagging groceries, which was blasted as classist job shaming. Owens is on the beat tonight to talk about this fake controversy called a non-troversy and what it says about class in America. The 57-year-old actor has been on many shows since his Cosby days, including recently CBS's Elementary.
You're wrong about the damages not being tangible. I mean, the release of this video has cost my clients a virtual king's ransom.
Those articles about Owens quickly backfired. Prominent actors like Terry Crews and Tyler Perry praising him and noting that most actors work side jobs. Director Judd Apatow calling Owens hilarious while reposting a quote about the dignity of work. Jeffrey, thanks for coming on the beat.
You're welcome. How are you?
I'm great. Was Fox News job shaming you?
I guess so. I mean, I can't see what else the motivation would have been. You know, it's just to, you know, make someone feel small about doing what they have to do to make a living. It doesn't make any sense to me, but yeah, that appears to be the motive right there.
So how did this feel to go from doing your job to getting this onslaught of attention and then getting a lot of people defending you and defending what it means to work?
This has been quite a week, Ari. Surreal is the word that best describes it. From relative anonymity at Trader Joe's, I mean, not complete, because I was recognized there as the guy from the Cosby Show almost every day I worked there,
yeah,
but in a nice way, a cool way, you know, by customers.
Yeah.
And then that awful thing that came out that day, you know, with the pictures and the demeaning words and descriptions, which just made me feel humiliated, basically. Fortunately, the humiliation only lasted I believe it was an hour or two before my wife and I started reading the posts, the reactions from literally all over the world. And so very quickly something awful and humiliating became something wonderful.
Karma Lawrence is one of the people who took one of these photos. I want to read from some of the reporting here. As you say, it's been quite a week. She says she can't sleep, that she feels she's unintentionally hurt someone. Mm-hmm. She said, I would tell him I'm extremely apologetic about what's happened. If I could take it back, I would. What do you say to her?
I say that's very cool, and I say I accept that. And I'd like her to know that I had no ill feeling towards her. It was, you know, even as this happened, if I could see her now, I could totally tell her that I forgive her.
This story is, at its root, it's about snobbery and classism.
Yes.
And I want to put up on the screen here something that President Trump has done. He has said he prefers hiring billionaires to anyone else, and he prefers Ivy League alums. He doesn't Sessions, well, that helps you.
I might get
doesn't like Sessions' southern accent, prefers people who went to Ivy League colleges, and touts that he hired billionaires for his cabinet. And then take a listen to him explaining that choice.
So somebody said, why did you appoint a rich person to be in charge of the economy? I said, because that's the kind of thinking we want. I mean, you know, really, because they're representing the country. And I love all people, rich or poor, but in those particular positions, I just don't want a poor person. Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
Does that make sense? And is this important in that way?
You know what? I'm only going to say one thing right here, because I don't want to get into politics too much. But this is the man who said he preferred his war heroes that weren't caught. Mm. Do you know what I mean?
What do you mean?
I mean that's the kind of judgment we're dealing with. Anybody who could say that, for instance, about Senator McCain, I don't respect his opinion about these matters either, is what I'm saying.
Where do we go from here when the internet is a... Well, go ahead. You look like you...
No, I'm taking in your question.
You know, you're so expressive.
Yeah.
Have you ever done dramatic work?
Yeah, right.
Well, I don't usually pause, but you went...
Yeah, man, I should go into acting.
How do you feel about the way the internet has put you on blast wrongly, and then allowed a space for a bunch of positivity as well?
I think what's really good about this is that there is now this new sensitivity about what it means to work, and that we're rethinking, we're reevaluating what it means to work, and the relative, this idea that certain jobs are better than others, certain jobs are superior to others. When I worked at Trader Joe's, I had a tremendous sense of satisfaction, of peace and innocence at the work I was doing. It was tremendously good for me, spiritually and emotionally.
When they have the expression, something couldn't happen to a nicer guy, this is a really interesting and in some ways difficult thing that happened, and it couldn't happen to a more thoughtful guy, because I think we could all benefit from listening to how you handled this and what you're offering us today. So I really appreciate you coming by, Jeffrey.
Thank you so much for that. I appreciate